We have all the equipment to make steel brake lines, and here we have the SAE kit. And you'll notice out of the little package, I've taken out the forming dies. They must always be there. There's 5 of them. And this is the ISO, rarely used now, but it's the isometric set, but it's referenced in the book. Anyway, watch this video and learn. Today I'm going to show you how to make a double inverted flare brake line, and that's the SAE brake line, as opposed to the ISO or metric brake line. We can make both, but I'm going to show you the SAE double inverted flare, the most common. First of all, we usually buy our brake line bulk, and it comes in a coil. This is 3/16. This is the most common in cars, and it's the outside measurement. And we have to cut what we need. It's very inexpensive, so don't worry about cutting something a little bit longer. And this is a pipe cutter. There's a little wheel and rollers and a handle. As you put the handle, it tightens up on the line. Now you don't overdo it. So we'll cut some line. Got to be on a fairly straight spot. That's why I straighten it. Put it in the middle of the rollers, and I'll show you that in a minute. Make contact, not too tight, or you'll squish the line. And you go back. You don't keep going around. You go 370 degrees, a little more in a circle. And then you just turn the handle a little bit. Go back the other way. Now, once you've got established a good groove, you can go right around until you cut through the line. Now, this is proper brake line. It's sold with the idea that you're going to make brake line with it. Now, these ends here, you can see that, should be clear of debris, and the hole and the outside of the pipe should be concentric, meaning that the circles line up. And this one's pretty good, but just to straighten it out, I can use the blade on the cutter, but that's a little bit too big. It works a little bit, but I'll do that rough. And then just going to make sure that the edges are nice and smooth. So now we have nice concentric circles. Now I've chosen the line nut. That's a line nut, threaded the hole to fit over this line. Now this is a wheel cylinder. It's an old one, mind you, and that's the line nut that will eventually go through if I was making this for real. So we can put that on, and then we select our SAE kit, and the first thing I do is we pick up our forming bar, and it's marked 3/16. Actually, there's quarter, half inch, 3/16, 5/16, and 3/8. So we'll open it up and put the 3/16 just loosely in there. And then I'm going to put this part in a vise. Just for convenience. So how far is the key should this pipe step up? So I'm just going to take it out again. And the first stage, and if you can see, you can even see the directions on the instructions on the kit, but is to select the 3/16 forming die. And it even says 3/16 on here. And that's going to take the pipe and bend it into a flute shape. This edge right here And to make that point very clear, I'll use this, that edge right there is how high the pipe sticks out of the forming. So we put it beside. Whoops. And it's too high, I'm going to level it, bring it down gently. It's a little too tight. Oops, too far. I'd say I'm right there. And then you tighten this very tight. We'll just put this aside. And I use either a screwdriver or this bar that's part of the kit. It should be tighter. You want that very tight. Then we put this and treat it carefully. Always know where it is. It's very expensive and rare, and if it breaks here, that means, or if we lose it, we can't make brake lines. So it goes in the top. Picture that. And we're going to force that die down onto the line. So this will fit in. Down a bit, over, fit in that little hole in the middle of the die, and now this takes quite a bit of force. We're going to keep turning that until we feel a lot of resistance, and I'm starting to feel resistance now. And I'll just move that aside, and you can see how the pipe's been formed. And to finish off, with the die put away, I'm just going to put this tool right in the middle of the line. And force it in. Until you feel a lot of resistance, and then you're done. So let's take this off. You can look at that. We'll take our line out. And you can see the thickness of the sides, because the line is brought in and folded back into the middle, and that line nut's going to seat into the wheel cylinder nice and tight, so there'll be no leaks. So if this was a real case scenario, the line would go in here, and then we tighten it up quite tight to seat this line into the wheel cylinder. So that's how you make an SAE double inverted brake line. However, you're not finished yet. You've got to put this away. We have this little container where all these dies go in. Make sure the lid's on, I mean. Sits in there. This has to be wound down. Just like that. You can put this in there. That goes in its spot. Cutter goes in its spot. And the clamp goes in its spot. We close it, click it, and put it away. Thank you very much.